Oh, do you want a hand grab?
No, I'll grab the guys. Yeah. Pizza guy's lost now. What's that? Yeah. Thank you all for coming, and welcome to GB Orthopaedics.
Hey, there he is. Hello.
The guy that started the business just walked through the door 34 years ago.
Hi.
So he's known to most people anyway. So the pizzas have arrived, so we thought we'd have dinner first, and then we'll go and do the tour through. That sound good?
Excellent.
Awesome. Through we go. Right. It's not worth arguing.
It's a tracking device.
It is. Yeah. Obviously the bus driver should have had it.
Instead of an ankle bracelet.
Technical side of our business. So we do have the clinical side, which is where we do the casting, and we'll go through that shortly as well. Our job is quite a labour intensive job. So everything that we do is custom made to fit the person. So our philosophy is you don't wear someone else's false teeth.
Yeah.
So that's why we do a cast. So we cast in different positions. We cast in our rooms, we go into operating theatre, and we cast in theatre. We'll cast spinal patients. I cast 2 children with cerebral palsy in theatre this morning, and we did a spine this afternoon at Wesley, and we did one in theatre as well. So it is a mixed bag of what we do, and you'll see that as we go through some of the stuff that we do. We changed our workshop around probably about 18 months ago, Andrew, was it? Went to a couple of years. Went to Boeing on holidays and looked very closely at the way Boeing did it, and so we've tried to mimic what Boeing do. Everyone used to have their own bench. The problem with that is that it used to gather crap. So now each bench replicates one part of the process, and it's much more productive. It is a very dusty environment because of what we do. So we do have a dust extractor, which I'll show you on the way back through. Okay, so we'll just walk through. So we still do the old polio type patients. This lady's not polio, she's got a neuromuscular degenerative condition, but it's still the same caliper that we still make for the old polios. And we are seeing the new stream of polios coming through from other countries. It is a bit scary.
Are you hearing many people with polio is one of those things that come back and bite you when you're older?
Yeah, look, there's a big theory on that. They call it post-polio syndrome. We don't necessarily agree with that term. Post-polio syndrome, once you've got polio, don't get rid of it. Yeah. So it's not post, and you're only as strong as your weakest link, which is the part of the polio, whether it's the arm or the leg.
The majority of it's you're just getting old.
Yeah.
And things are starting to break down. It's not big dog.
That's part of the bills, right?
Yeah.
Very proud for this group.
Yeah, good work, Andrew.
Swift uppercut there.
Yeah.
I live life on the edge.
Going swimmingly, Andrew.
You went to university to get that, didn't you?
So that's for a lady that's just deteriorating quite quickly, actually, for no real reason. So she also wears a knee brace on the other side. This is a newer material that we actually have developed, basically. So it's quite soft, but it gives it its structure through the skeleton and the inside, and makes it quite light and a lot more user-friendly to the patient.
Is this an actual course that you do to do this?
It is, yeah. It's a 4-year university degree, and the only place is in Melbourne. So there was no course when I started 30 years ago, so I learned all on the job. And Andrew's been with me, 13 years? Yeah, Marshall's been with me 4 years.
Must be a good boss.
Ask them, mate.
That outside.
Yeah.
What got you interested in this? Was it a family that had a problem, or anything that drove you, directed you to this sort of career?
I just wanted to do some sort of fabrication. And when I was at school, this was something that came up, and thought I'd give it a crack, and didn't didn't leave.
Yeah, well, there's certainly a great need for it. There's no doubt about that.
It's not something like when it like first got proposed to me. It's not something I ever heard about.
Yeah.
The guidance officer at the school's like, oh, you can do this and do that. And I'm like, it's not something you really think about when
You
you're at
don't read
school.
about it much, do you? No.
Yeah.
No.
We just accept that it happens, yes, which is, yeah, so.
Because there's actually two parts to our job. There's orthotics and prosthetics.
Yes, yes.
Well, we don't do the prosthetics, the orthotics and prosthetics. You can't be good at both. So that's why we chose to do one, which is the orthotics. The prosthetics are the glory boys.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, they can.
Also
They
the
can.
big court cases.
Well, they can make a limb and cost them $130,000.
Yes,
So we don't get anywhere near that.
The majority of their jobs, all the stuff is already made. You just put it together and you put it on the patient. Our job is you make everything from a sheet of material, and you have to do it all by hand.
And you design it for the patient.
Yeah. So it is quite an interesting job.
Incredible difference to a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
Did you mention spine before as well?
We do spine. We specialise in spines. That's our logo.
Right.
So we specialise in spines. Gary's the spine expert. That's his great love, is scoliosis. So.
Straighten up again. I was put on a rack and stretched.
Oh, he's got the rack to show you. That's when we go outside. That's when we swap over.
You misbehave, Mary, and you go back on the
Absolutely.
Back on the rack, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, well, Andrew started as a school-based apprentice. He came one day and said, I'm not going back to school. So he's been here ever since. And Marshall's similar sort of thing. He was a young bloke that advertised on Gumtree. He wanted someone to give him a crack. So I did.
Very good.
And you've both done your uni degrees now?
Nope.
No, so we did trades.
Oh, right, okay.
So we do the hard work.
Oh, yes.
So you're the craftsman.
We're the craftsmen.
Oh, don't say
I
that.
can see some demarcation just
Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of banter about it. So that's why we're a bit dirtier than.
You your own leather work.
He wears those every day of the week.
Yeah.
Never get dirty.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to wash them. He doesn't do
Haven't you got something to do?
And
All
there's
right.
a great deal of personal satisfaction to see some of
It is, yeah. If you look at our mission statement, it basically says exactly how we all feel. So,
Where's fishing coming from?
yeah, it's pretty high on the agenda, but we don't get to do much. No. We had a horrible day today, didn't we? It was terribly busy today.
Was it?
Brad,
Well,
your
fishing.
range of age of your clients,
Yeah, mate.
let's call them clients or patients.
Patients, yep.
Patients.
Prostitutes have clients, we have patients.
Yes,
What would the range be, roughly?
We can get them from a day old for a baby with dislocated hips all the way up to 85, 90. So it does vary. The majority of our patients is paediatrics. So you're getting them from the day old up to about 16.
When you say hips,
Yep.
general dislocated hips.
Yep. They call it developmental now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
Used-
eldest daughter had that.
Yeah. It used to be called.
She tried to walk.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was missed. So they'd say that was a
So
missed.
she went through all the surgery. She got plates in her.
Yeah. Varising osteotomy.
Yeah, they normally pick it up pretty much straight after birth now.
Yeah, they're pretty onto it.
They are now.
Yeah. But
Fred, is that similar to Perthes disease?
similar. It's similar. It's in that realm. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, they changed it in America. They changed it from congenital to developmental because a child sued the parents.
Oh, okay.
Because congenital means that it was caused by something.
Handed down.
Sued their parents and won.
In America, much?
I don't know.
Litigation.
What are you thinking?
If
We're not too far behind.
it happened there, it'll happen here.
So Brad, are your clients the patient or the doctor?
That's a good question. Technically, the doctor is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The patients are our secondary, but they're all the same. We treat
So
each
if
other.
you get it wrong, you answer to the doctor first.
Pretty much.
They do
Yeah.
a referral to you, do they?
Yeah, so we get a referral from a variety of different people: orthopaedic surgeons, neurologists, physiotherapists, podiatrists, GPs, anyone and everyone, rheumatologists. So all in the medical fraternity will prescribe to us.
Yeah.
They don't always tell us what to make, they'll just say, please supply Mr. Jones with a brace.
We've even done animals. We've done horses. Yeah, people can't find things other places, and sometimes they're like, "Oh, go see these people because they make stuff and for people, so they might be able to go across." And we've done horses. We've done a leg for a horse, so a stud, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had a Achilles tendonitis, so we had to do a shoe race for it. I didn't fit it, thankfully. But yeah, there's actually a vet that's coming to see us. He gets all his braces made in the UK, of all places. And he said, I can't believe you guys are South Brisbane. So saves him a lot of money.
So with the Children's Hospital all moving over this side, will be...
The Lady Gaga Hospital?
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier for you though, wouldn't it, than having to traipse over the other side?
Oh, look, it's not a great hospital to start with.
No.
They should have kept the two hospitals together.
We all say that. We had that discussion on the bus.
Yeah. There's lots of stories I could tell you, but I won't. Sorry?
Annabalise Electric.
Oh, Peter Beattie's first.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's his debacle, and it's just getting worse. But there's only one people that suffer, and that's the children.
And the parents and the family.
They still don't have coffee shops there.
Well, that's a disaster.
Well, they should have put those like...
I mean, it is quite a big thing for the parents. They need to be able to go and get something to eat.
And the Ronald McDonald House.
Well, that hasn't been built yet.
No, I know, that's a disaster actually. Imagine them being all the way over there when you're trying to think.
Well, there's no morgue in the hospital.
No, I know that.
Yeah. And the helipad that they didn't build, they got from Singapore. And every time the helicopter landed, the roof went like that. So they couldn't take 6 children out of that, so they had to land them in the Mata and then bring them across.
Well, when they built PA, they didn't put a morgue in there either, you know.
Nope. And their lifts at PA...
Hospitals are supposed to cure people, not kill them.
And the lifts at PA weren't wide enough for the beds.
That's right, yes. I'm all fully aware of all that.
Yep. So there's lots of stories on hospitals.
Yeah, so they should have actually learnt from what's gone on before.
Yeah, they didn't. They're politicians, they don't learn.
Especially with the money that's involved.
There's $1.5 billion spent on that hospital.
The challenge is they don't design it. They've made a decision to build a hospital.
Yeah.
They don't design it.
No.
I don't think they talk to the clinicians enough.
Well, there's no input from the clinicians that are at the coalface. I mean, the new one, there's no nurses station at all. There's like this little hub, there's a little desk there that they all have to do their notes on. Terrible.
So the chap used to be in the Albany Creek Rotary Club. He was in hospital design.
Oh, righto.
Oh, yeah, what was his name?
He'll come to me before the night's out. Oh, I'll give you a ring at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, do that. Yeah, no, I'll be awake.
And I'll ring you at 5.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just to make sure I've got it.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's not still in the club.
Okay.
Not the man.
Well, that's why the RBWH went so well, because they got clinicians involved.
And they actually sent us overseas.
And actually got sent overseas.
We went to Europe.
Germany.
Yeah, well, they did this for that one too. They sent them all over. So to Canada, and they sent them to Melbourne.
But they also had input into the design.
Yeah, but see, they didn't have that. Yeah, they didn't have that, unfortunately.
Tony, was that Greg Beard?
Greg Baird.
No.
He's in the Marta Foundation.
No. He was an architect. His specialty was designing hospitals. Mate, it'll come to me. See the old...
Just not at 4 o'clock.
Memory bank whizzing round.
Just changing, bringing the topic back regularly.
Yeah.
How many people would you have working in here?
About half of them? No.
How many people would be in here?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's better. That's better. About 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do you find your dust extraction is efficient?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not ideal. Sorry, we don't know.
You haven't gone to electrostatic?
No.
It's a bit of a failing, isn't it?
I guess. It's better than what we used to have in the old days. We had nothing.
Oh, well, workplace health and safety changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
We used to have the old cyclone ones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's not too bad, that one, is it?
So in terms of the material properties you should be dealing with, there'd be a lot of polymers and a lot of plastics and those sorts of
Polypropylenes, copoly, polyethylenes.
so you've got some pretty ugly stuff.
Yeah.
Once you start bringing it down into fine fibre.
Yeah. So it's not actually according to the MSDS sheets, it's not too bad. Yeah. Carbon fibre, yeah, absolutely.
But the polymers are mainly only a problem if you heat them, aren't
We do heat them.
they? To what temperature though?
200.
Pretty high.
Well, that's C.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a problem. Okay.
How heavy are these things? Are we allowed to?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a light one.
That's aluminium, so the stainless steel as well.
That's fairly heavy, isn't it?
We'll get some of the old school ones.
Thank you.
It's still heavy, you know. You wouldn't want to wear
This
that all
one's
day.
heavy, yeah.
You wouldn't want to wear that all day.
Well, that's much lighter than that.
Well, I guess it allows you to walk around.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Not a
that's
big
the
price to
problem,
pay.
is it?
Do those pins actually go
They go into a shoe.
into a shoe?
So there's a tube that goes through there. That's drilled in,
Okay.
and that goes.
So it doesn't go in the ankle.
No.
Going in the ankle.
No.
Now goes
Into a tube.
I mean, the softest place to poly,
Oh, it's heavier than it
Yeah,
looks.
it's yeah.
But it, I mean,
what do you put into 200?
Because usually the time it takes us to get through the oven
it's different
to
to
get it
what
wrapped
it used to be.
around
I went
God,
to school with
yes.
him on board with polio and all.
Yeah. It's more, we heat it up to that point.
Well, in the old days, all this used to be forged,
Yeah.
but now we buy them.
Yeah.
Oh, what, you buy the frame?
We buy just the
steel.
joints, and then we do these
Yeah.
spurs, and we put that in, and then we do all the rest of it.
You have to reshape it, or
Yeah, we shape it.
And
It
this
comes
is a
straight.
knee.
And this
It's a knee, yeah. So she's got a hyperextension of the knee, so she really goes back.
is something you developed this.
A plastic, yeah.
So it's for somebody that has something wrong, not for somebody that's recovering from.
That's right. So she's yeah.
So that's not a temporary thing.
No, that's ever.
No, that's something.
Lady, because when she walks, she actually goes over on her ankle. So we're putting that flare on it. It stops her from
Tipping.
going over on her ankle. There's another one, patient having a shoe raise put in their shoe. They've got a leg length discrepancy. Yeah, so as I was saying,
So you can modify any shoe,
generally,
generally?
yeah.
Okay.
We can, but generally if they're a terrible quality shoe,
Yeah.
there's no point modifying a shoe for someone and getting them to pay the money if it's
Yeah.
going to break in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
And we're usually pretty honest about that.
We sort of tell them which shoe that
Yeah.
we can do.
Yeah.
And of all of them, Dunlop KT26 is still the best.
Is that right? The
Yep.
old KT26? Sure.
Still the best.
You can still buy them.
Yeah, you can. You can. So each one of those jobs, as I said, it's about a minimum of 5 hours per job.
So even to do those shoes takes about 5 hours.
Oh, because we do that in between other jobs. 'Cause that's a smaller job. No, but some. So that's a clinician. So whoever's. So we've got it over here. That's our key.
Oh, okay.
So that's our key for doing the work.
See, I've got, yeah.
And I'm glad on the bloke in the black. He's a heaps to do.
Yeah, that's Rocky. It's our Rocky stuff. So we've actually just pulled a. We've been servicing Rockhampton for 30 years, and Gary's been doing that clinic, and so we decided it was enough. Enough was enough. He could not do that anymore. So after 30 years of service, we stopped doing it as of last month.
So who does Rocky now?
Don't know.
Do they come down here to you?
Some of them do, yeah.
I'll go get one. You'll know it.
And the helmets, that's somebody who's got, so...
So they've got plagiocephaly, so
yeah.
plagiocephaly or full drop seizures.
Yeah.
Yep. So we do protective ones. We've got removable mandrels for, which I'll show you when we go into the plaster room. So some that we've got to mould a front and a back, we use that deformed bar. For the other ones, we only mould once, we just pull it out and then throw it in the bin. We'd love to recycle it. We've tried to get someone to recycle it, but no one wants to do it. Got transfer? So the plastic we're using is copolymer. And Andrew's got a transfer colour behind there. So what we can do is we buy rolls of transfer paper and we impregnate that into the plastic. So when the plastic's gone off, we put the paper on, we massage that into the plastic, take that off, and the ink is actually in the plastic. You'll be right, mate.
Is he vacuum full?
Yeah.
Huts them down and
Not if they looked after them.
That's what Gary does on a Sunday.
Yeah. So we got different. This foam is called Aliplast, which we bring in from America. So it's a closed cell, non-allergenic foam, waterproof. The only thing known to man that actually affects it is cat hair.
Cat hair?
So the kids end up with rash. So we just say get rid of the cat.
Absolutely.
Stupid animal anyway. So yeah, so that's and it comes in the.
Someone run mine over when I was at Rotary the other night.
Oh really?
So don't make me cry.
Right. Sorry, Robin. Thanks for the heads up, guys. Awesome.
I didn't know.
Oh. So because it comes from America, it's still 1/4 inch, 3/16 and 1/8.
Yeah, just nowhere near cabin.
But our plastics, all 3 mil, 1.5, 2 mil.
If it's sealed bubbles, why does the cat hair get in between it or something?
It must do, yeah. That's the only thing. It's the only thing. So they're the spines, so they're for scoliosis, which I'm sure Gary, when we do the changeover, he'll talk to you more about the scoliosis side of it.
Am I in any danger standing here?
Nah. You boys got the day off tomorrow, a long weekend? Make nothing tonight?
Graham, zip it.
Oh, okay. Sure, Brad.
Oh, I can.
I don't as of now.
I think we've got an opening in management actually.
What do you get your vacuum to draw down to, about -0.8 or something?
Sorry?
What do you get your vacuum to draw down to in negative pressure?
Oh, about 60 psi. So it's a fair chunk. It's not as good as like we'd want it to be, but what makes it a lot easier for our job is we use something called a surge tank. Yep. So instead of just like drawing off a pump like a vacuum or something, what we do is we use this tank and we suck all the air out of the tank.
Yep.
And so we've got a big vortex of vacuum in there. So as soon as you open the gate, instead of having just that little bit of trickle that the pump creates, you've got a massive amount of flow at one time. So you've got a lot of volume at your disposal.
You almost sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, pretty good making it up.
We don't know, so it doesn't matter.
But you've been listening like a tour guide years.
Yeah.
No, Brad wouldn't talk
You know
like
what Daffod's brains?
that. Sorry?
You know what Daffod's brains?
Yeah. Andrew.
It's at 188.
So Tony, in our new place, when we get our new building, we're going to have a specially designed manufacturing. Because we're limited by space here, when we get our shed, it'll be a lot more schmick. But this is a lot better. In the old days, we used to talk about sucking a golf ball through a straw, because that's what we were doing. But now we've got the big pipes, we've got everything.
Yeah, Marshall, they shouldn't be out on the bench. They're all on energy.
What's that? Oh. I don't mind. Yep.
Yep. You've been in trouble. Yeah. Sorry, it's Captain Stanford. Yeah.
Gary,
Brad.
before Gary started this business here, where was the nearest place that made
Originally when Gary started, he was at Stafford.
Just be very careful.
And then he moved from Stafford to Vulture Street, West End.
Right.
And then from Vulture to Victoria Street. And then Victoria to here.
But before he started at Stafford,
He was at Morris Surgical.
so he's always been the primary one.
He's been the primary, the spinal, yeah. So there was a spinal surgeon in town called Don Tuffley,
Right, I worked with John Tuffley for years.
and he was the godfather of spine.
He's the godfather of a lot of things.
What he didn't know about spines wasn't worth knowing.
That's some sort of nonsense.
So when you work with Don, do you used to stand still at the...
He didn't give me any nonsense,
Uh,
but he used to with a lot of stuff. I think he thought God was his understudy.
I think so.
Got some benefits, huh? I can get a bit of
You put the blue.
Bit jump. No, bit jump. It was an eye jump specialist.
Tony Blue, yeah.
Did my back.
Did he?
Yeah.
You can eat it if you like, but I wouldn't. So from that, once that goes cold, then we cut it off, then we put straps on it.
So what temperature was that when you 188?
So you probably saw the stocking, there was a stocking underneath it. So that's so the plastic will actually suck all the air out. Just to seal it off.
How long did it
5 minutes. We usually wait till the fence goes cold. Good to turn off.
Well, these are standard last that you build up to suit the person, are they?
No, that's not said, that's from a cast. So we've cast a child. Custom built.
We don't generally use standard cast. So we have any do it.
No.
Everything that we mould is custom.
Why are they putting that paper on there?
That's the colour.
That's blue.
The colour.
Why blue?
So that's what the child chose.
Oh.
So we have a swatch. No, that's for the other group. We have, yeah. So if you go that way and have a look at Andrew, he's got a whole colour spectrum for you to look at.
So every time you give the kid a chance, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Always out of my mouth. Bit of ownership. I can see why you want some more space.
Yeah. We're cramping.
Much more?
Well, we're actually separating, so we're going to be clinical and technical.
Oh, okay.
So Dutton Park's going to be our clinical.
Oh, physically right away.
Yep.
Where are you going to be at Dutton Park? Bulgo Road?
Opposite the jail.
Opposite Bulgo Road?
Yeah, it's the old Dutch club.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, okay. Up near the...
New Ribbits.
Yeah, I know where Ribbits is.
So we
yeah.
bought the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or with some doctors.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be in there.
Yeah. That's good.
All right, so this is called the pig pen for obvious reasons. Because it looks like a heap of pigs work in here, and that's probably right. So we go through a tonne of plaster a month.
A tonne?
A tonne. 1 tonne. So the negatives are here. So when I say we did a cast in theatre this morning. So the child's asleep. And we put a plastic strip down the front, which I'll show you when we go out the front. And we wrap the plaster around, and then we cut on the plastic strip with a sharp knife, and then peel it off. And that gives us the child's leg. Okay, and from that we fill it full of plaster, and that's positive. So that's negative, that's your positive. That's not the same patient.
No, but you can see what's wrong with that.
Yeah.
Tooth.
You can see by the ankle.
Yeah,
Yeah, righto.
yeah, apart from the no toes, you're right.
Now there is toes.
Having your work, Gary.
Think toes?
I wish it would.
Yeah.
So how hard is it to cut down the plastic strip with a sharp knife and avoid cutting the child's leg?
Oh, it's easy because they're in theatre anyway. If you miss,
Sleep, they won't
Doctor?
we haven't missed yet, so we don't want to start.
So how long would you take, like, to do that this morning? How long would you spend?
To do the cast,
Yeah.
I was in and done in about 5 minutes.
Oh, they're quick, eh?
Yeah. Well, they don't want to keep the kids under
No, I
anaesthetic
wondered,
longer than
yeah,
what they need to.
And they're not worried about sterility, sterile, taking in the theatre?
As long as you don't inhale too much.
We're all dressed. We're gowned up and everything anyway.
Yeah, with scrubs on, though.
Yeah, we're scrubbed up. Yep. Yeah. So.
Okay, that's good. Excellent.
All right, so that's your negatives and your positives. Your negatives right behind Rex there's the spine that Gary will talk to you about. So that's the scoliosis bracing, which Gary will talk to you about. This is for the child with the drop seizures. So we do a cast of the head, and then we'll mould the foam and the plastic around that, just to protect him when he does fall over. Foot orthotics. So we actually did foot orthotics before podiatrists did. Podiatrists were chiropodists in the old days.
Yeah.
We should have stopped it there.
Okay.
But they're creeping up the leg. They'll be doing backs and everything soon. So that's just a foot orthotic. So you can no longer buy those boot patches. They don't no longer make them. Singer are gone. They're gone broke.
Say antique shop would give you a fortune for that.
Yeah, they probably would, but I need them more than they do.
My mother used to have a sewing machine like
Yeah.
that. A singer
Yeah.
treadle sewing machine.
They all did. All our mothers
We
did,
did.
I think.
Yeah.
The difference is that see the it's an arm,
Yeah.
so you can.
free arm.
That's right. So you can get all the way in.
Yeah.
I know about free arm sewing machine.
There you go. You are good. Good job.
Yes.
He does all the sewing in their family.
Yeah.
Mary doesn't do much at all, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, she sees.
So it's a thoracic and a lumbar curve as well. And then the braces behind you. That's called a Milwaukee or a CTLSO. So that's for a cervical curve. So the higher up the body goes, the more traction you get. In the old days, they used to have a nail. But every time the kid would slouch.
Lovely.
Can't do that anymore either, apparently. I don't know what that's about. So that's a brace that Gary built 40 odd.
I think some of them here